Hello everyone and welcome back to Paper Peony. I'm excited to show you this last and final sample that I have as of right now using the terrific Toadstools bundle found in the mini catalog, Stampin' Up mini catalog. It is found on our Stampin' Up website and my personal website and Facebook page, business Facebook page, is found in the comments in this post. Here I'm kind of wanting to imitate a fairy ring, and this is a square card. It is a 4.5 by 4.5 card. But I thought it would be kind of fun to kind of do that with this, with the baby mushroom that's found in this stamp set. On page 53 of the mini catalog, you will find this bundle. And this is the mini catalog, and here is the actual bundle. It is a clear photopolymer stamp set, and it has a punch as well. We won't be using the punch in this particular project, but if you do want to see how this punch operates, I have 2 other videos that are found here on YouTube that I did actually use this punch. So, okay, so let's get started. So I used a thick white cardstock base, and I trimmed it at 4.5 by 9, and we're going to score that at 4.5 to make it a perfect square. I am using our Stampin' Up cutting tool. It is a cutting and scoring tool, which I happen to love. You just move the blade out when you're not in need of cutting and use the score blade instead. Score blade is light gray and the cutting blade is the darker blade. You do want to go over your cardstock more than once, especially when you're dealing with our cardstock or thick cardstock. That way you get a nice score line going on. You're going to take your card and you're going to go tip to tip. I like to hold the ends down tight and then bring a bone folder and go corner to corner to get that nice crisp fold going on. Okay, and so now our base is done. Now I used, during January, February, we had Celebration, and Celebration had designer series paper that you could get along with this bundle, which happened to be really, really cute. And I went ahead and used that same paper, but you can use any paper, designer series paper that you have that's green or has leaves on it or anything to make the exact sample that I have here for you. Okay, so I went ahead and cut this 4.5 by 4.5, and I ran it through my die cut machine using our stylish shapes dies, which I happen to love. If you have never bought any of Stampin' Up's dies, they will come in a case different than this, but the dies are glued with adhesive strips, which if you're using the die a lot, it's really hard to go in and out and taking them off and on the papers. So I got these from Stampin' Storage, and these are magnetic cards, and so now I can see exactly what dies I have just by looking through this clear case. And these are index dividers that you can get to go with these magnetic cards. And I always store them where the tab is facing out this way so the dies are not sticking out and I don't have to worry about the dies coming off. I also use a label maker and label my dies. So in this case, it fell off, but I will do it again. So see, if you have it in like this, the short side, then my dies are sticking out of that plastic. And I don't like that. So I always store them the other direction. Okay, so here's that. I use this bigger circle for the center of this front. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up on this card front perfectly. I'm going to take a pencil and I am just going to trace this circle real faint. And the reason why is because when you take this off, now I know exactly where to stamp. Okay. For when I glue it down. And what we're going to do is we're going to, in this stamp set, you have this mound here, and I'm going to mount that on a block, and then we're going to stamp with Old Olive. Okay. So this is Old Olive, and I'm going to move that out of the way. And what I did is I came up here and I just stamped it across, and then I came down and stamped again, made it kind of faint. Okay, and then I did it one more time and back over here. You're just going to kind of make it all nice and faint, like so. Okay. Stamp on, stamp off type of concept. Okay. And then I kind of took a blending brush. And because these inks are kind of wet still, I just kind of went in and kind of did some shading to kind of give it kind of like a smoother look. Okay. Once you have that done, then you can come in and you can erase your pencil marks, like so. Okay. Now I have like this, I have it like that, okay? So if you wanted to leave the pencil lines on there to stamp your saying, you could do that. I'm going to do that now, and I'm using Poppy Parade ink, which is a nice pinky red, which I love. And this time I'm using that popping up to say hi saying that's in the stamp set. And I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to center it right there and stamp it right in the center of that circle. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is now for the sake of the video, I went ahead and stamped all 12 of my mushrooms. But I am going to show you how I did that on a piece of white. Okay, so I have my mushroom, and I have the base is going to be, or the stem is going to be smoky slate. So I'm going to stamp my stem right here, like so. And then I'm going to come around and I have the cap on the other side of my block, and I'm going to come into Poppy Parade. And because you can see through your clear block, you stamp your mushroom and it is a perfect stamp every single time. I can honestly tell you, I stamped this a numerous amount of times, I would say 30 plus times, and I never had one that I wasn't happy with. So keep that in mind. I love it for that reason. And then you're going to fussy cut all 12 mushrooms out. Okay. Now for the greenery, I have Garden Green and I have Old Olive. And this is our bow punch, which I love. And you can use these for anything, if you're doing bird nest or whatever. And I'm just going to punch. I want to say I just did 1 of the Old Olive, and then I did 4 of the Garden Green. So you're just going to come in and you're just going to punch 4 of those bigger branches. I only care about the bigger ones. You can use the littler ones, no big deal. And we might, for the sake of the fact that I ran out of room, and that way you can compare the difference. Okay, so I have all that. Now we're ready to build our card. So we're going to use this and use pop dimensionals or dimensionals. Now the foam strips that we sell, I love for shakers, for something like this. And I love it because for some reason it seems like it is a little bit taller than our normal dimensionals. So I love it for this reason. If you want it to stand a little taller, you know, it's perfect for that. You don't want an overlap when you go to use this though. So you want it to be an even distribution. Okay. So I went around the edge and then I went around the frame. Okay. Once you have that, then you're just going to peel off the backings. Another type of background designer series paper that would work beautifully with this would be like a wood grain. Because you know they do grow in the forest. And there are trees in the forest. So that would be a good background to do with this concept as well. Okay, so that one's sticky already. Okay, now after you get all of that ready to go, make sure your designer series paper is facing the right way. Okay, and then you're just going to bring your card up and you're just going to lay it down casually, making sure it's where you want it, and then press down all the way around like so. Okay, and there you have the front of your card. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and glue down our stems. And I just glue these down flat, so because of the stems. And I did one right here. Then I came in with an olive to kind of give it a kind of a variations of color. And kind of go in like that. Now you want it to go low enough that you can read your saying or your greeting. So keep that in mind when you're gluing these down. And sometimes, if you wanted, you could cut these down too because you're not seeing the base. Okay, and then this green, I'm sticking one down here. I wanted to kind of bring it down a little bit, make it kind of look more like a forest down here. Okay, and then because of the little, or the dark green, you can go ahead and do the little one as well. It's a different type of greenery. Okay. Okay, so we have that. Now we're ready to position our mushrooms. And once this dries decent, you can go in and cut those extra stems off like so. Okay, so now I put these, after I stamp them and cut them out, I put them in this little bitty envelope, clear envelope. And we're going to use mini dimensionals on this. And you're just going to put one on each mushroom. And I started at the top. And I kind of did like an overhang. And you're just going to glue them in a circle. Putting a little bit of space in between each one to make sure you get all 12 on there. First time I did this, I got some of them too close together, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I am not going to stamp another 3 or 4. So I ended up taking them off and spacing them out. Okay. And you can just place these over the greenery or place them under the greenery. It's up to you as to how you position these. Just remember, you just do what makes you happy with your project. It does not have to look exactly like mine. I'm just here to share the ideas and to share how I did mine. Remember, when you do put these around the circle, that you do have a cutout circle. So you want your pop dots to go where they're not going to be on that cut, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Okay. I hope that y'all are seeing me okay. Since I have come back to videoing, I have a new setup in my craft studio, and the lighting is different. I'm actually using a ring light now, and so I'm hoping that everyone is seeing me okay. If there's problems, please let me know, because that is something that I definitely do not want to not be working right. Okay, so there is my fairy ring, and as you can see, those are a little bit, so you just move them around until you're happy with them, and then it'll be perfect for you. And I ended up actually having an extra one, so I don't know how that happened, but it did. Okay, so now I have my mushrooms in place. I use just a tone on tone as far as my embellishment goes, and these are they're called rainbow adhesive back dots. They're really fun, and I love the bright colors. And I use this Poppy Parade. Poppy Parade happens to be that red one. And I just sporadically put them through here. It looks like I used 4. I used a baby one for the bottom down here on the greenery. And then I kind of came in and did the bigger ones Well, that one's not cooperating with me. There we go. Kind of just put them sporadically through the greenery so it popped up more. And I will eventually get this to stick. Ah, my putty is coming off. That's what it is. Okay, so let me take this one. Okay, and then we put a little one in the O of the popping word, which is, I think, kind of cute. Oh, well, let me see. It's a good thing I have short nails, because this would not work if I had acrylics. Okay, so just put that in the center of that O right there. And so, yes, I did do 5. I was like, okay, I usually do an odd number of embellishments. Okay, there you have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there is that card. I hope you enjoyed this card. I think it's a lot of fun. It's whimsical, and it opens up like so, and then you can put your message on the inside, or you can actually stamp another sentiment if you want. Like, instead of, you know, because this is just a very generic one, you can put happy birthday, thinking of you, thank you, any other message that you want on the inside. So that is my 3rd sample using the terrific Toadstools bundle, and I hope you enjoy it, and I'm thankful that you joined me in this video, and look for my other upcoming videos as well. Come see me on my website. I would greatly appreciate it. If you have any comments, please send me a message, and I will get back with you as soon as I can. For now, have a great day, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.